Good morning everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. As you can see behind me, it is currently snowing again. This is the third day in a row that it's snowed at least a little bit. I think we've got about 2 inches. We're supposed to get 3 to 5, so and then we're supposed to have another storm later on in the week. I mean, it's not that bad. I do like having snow and I am looking forward to maybe doing some snowmobiling, but if we didn't get any at all, I wouldn't be extremely disappointed. Since it is snowing, today was going to be kind of a boring day. We weren't really going to be doing much, so what I kind of wanted to do was I kind of wanted to clean up a little bit because as you can see, it is an absolute mess over here. We have boards from projects. The battery charger is in here again because we keep having to jump the truck with that, so it just ends up being brought in here because it's easier than taking it back across the road to the shop. Because we're lazy, I have to admit. Bottle, this here is broken, so we probably should throw that away. The skill saw from our project, a collar that a cow broke, just stuff that needs to be cleaned up. So since I was going to be working on cleaning up some of that stuff, by the way, the girls are enjoying a nice dry bale right now. It's just before milking, so we're just letting them eat that a little bit before we start. So since I was going to be cleaning up that, I thought I would also clean up some things like sticks that just end up in the walkway. The reason for that is we have a lot of old maple trees lining the edges of our fields. They're extremely beautiful in the summer, but when you have any kind of storm, any kind of wind, they're really old and some of them are rotting, so they lose a lot of branches. The grass grows up around it and you can't really see it, so you end up mowing over the top of it, and then you rake it up and then the baler picks it up. And long story short, they get baled into the bales and rolled out in front of the cows, and then obviously the cows don't want to eat sticks, so they push them off to the side and we end up having to sweep them out. When our cows are in here like they are right now because the weather's really terrible, it's very hard to sweep out in front of the cows because they get in the way, they get their faces down in there, so we can't really sweep it out unless they go out. And since they're not going to be going out for the next couple days because it's supposed to continue snowing, once they finish this dry bale, I'm just going to go around and pick up some obvious sticks like this, and just some other junk that ends up in the hay. You can see there's a couple down there, a couple big ones. I don't even know how the baler manages to pick that up. Like, how does the baler pick that up? Look at that thing. It's huge. Some of them we do end up putting on the windowsill. Here, this one actually has a fence post thing on it, not just a stick. A shotgun shell, because the hunters around here really don't do very well picking up their shotgun shells. I also just wanted to clean up this area right here where we bring in sawdust, because when you're coming in through with a skid steer, you jostle stuff around and dump some sawdust, and the hay drops when you come through here. And I just really want to clean some of that up so it's not so annoying to go through there with the bale and roller. Brendan's going to be pushing that outside when he cleans out the freestall later. And this area also has to get cleaned up a little bit. Then you can see, I mean, there's a stick here, water bottles. I'm just going to be cleaning up the windowsills and cleaning up some sticks and junk from the bales so the cows don't eat any of that nasty stuff, because we don't want that. So we're probably going to milk first, but before we do that, I wanted to introduce a couple girls to you guys. Our first gal here, this is Frankie. She is a pure-blooded Holstein. She's probably around 10 years old. We've had her for a long, long time. I think Brent got her just before I started working here part-time, so she's been here as long as I can remember. She's a pretty good old girl. Something about her would be that she kind of has, I don't know if you guys can tell, she has what looks to me like a question mark right on her forehead. So I thought that was kind of cute. So that's Frankie. So might as well introduce somebody else that's pretty close. So this right here is Beth. She's a Shorthorn Holstein cross. She's around probably 7 or 8. I believe Brent got her from a local auction. She is currently dry. We just dried her off, so she'll be calving the next 4 to 6 weeks. And we believe that she is bred to the Normandy bull. So we're really excited because she's a really, really good cow. So we were really excited to just see what a Normandy Shorthorn Holstein cross would look like. So those are the 2 girls. I do believe it's coffee time, and then we're going to milk the girls, and then we're going to finally get into our work. And by that time, it'll probably be time to plow out again and go through that whole thing. But right now, I do have to have coffee, so. Okay, so we just finished milking, and the girls have finished eating their dry bale. So now you can really see some of the stuff that's in front of them. You can see there's a rock right there, some cardboard, sticks, obviously, lots and lots of sticks. There's a pretty big one right over there. A whole bunch of crap. Some of it is trash that falls off people's vehicles. Some of it is trash that people purposely throw on the side of the road. which is really, really frustrating. There's some bottles in front of them, just stuff that really needs to get cleaned up so the girls don't eat it. So I changed my mind, and I am going to try to sweep out in front of them and make little piles up front, just kind of up against this wall, so that I can go around with their rat bale right now, because they do need to start eating that, because we need to bed them so that they can lay down and rest for the rest of the day. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just going to sweep back where it's really bad, and pick up some stuff that's, you know, pretty bad. So I'm just gonna do that, put some piles up here, clean it up after I go around with their bale. So that is the plan, so that's what I'm gonna start doing right now. This is what I mean. They're very interested in what you're doing, so it's very hard to sweep out in front of them. I tried to sweep in some of the hay after I sweeped out the junk, just so they could finish up some of that hay that they missed this morning. Because they do push it pretty far away from themselves, so we have to go sweep it in pretty much every time we feed a bale. I just gotta finish that end, and then I will feed you girls, okay? Calm down. There's my fancy dancy tripod, you guys. Alright, so I finally went around with that bale. The girls are being quiet for once, thank goodness. I got my shovel and I pushed all my piles all the way down to the end. We haven't bedded the girls yet because they're still eating. I feel like if I'm out here working, they're probably just gonna crap and make a mess anyway, so. I'm gonna shut that fan off so you guys can actually hear me. So here are my piles. This one right here. There was a lot on that side, and there wasn't as much on this side. This is the only thing that was on this side. This is just crap, like I was saying, that I want to clean up. I'm going to throw it right here, and Brent's going to push it out the next time he goes out there. I think he has to go out tomorrow to give the girls a bale, so he'll probably push that out and clean out there tomorrow, because it is supposed to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. So you guys are probably wondering, like, why don't you just cut down the trees so that they're not losing so many branches in your fields? Pretty much all of our fields that have trees that are losing branches like that are lining the road. So we're not allowed to cut them because the power lines are right there. So we have tried to get the state to do it. Brent has asked them many times, and they're like, yep, we'll come over. And then years go by, and he calls them again, and yep, we'll come over. And they never do, so it's never really worked out to get those trees that are really, really bad cut down so they're not losing so much crap anymore, because it's also dangerous. Some of the big dead branches go right over the fields, so it's kind of dangerous to be driving under them all the time like that. But I'm going to clean these spaces, shovel that stuff out here. Then we are going to bed the girls, and then I'm going to go home and finally eat some breakfast because it's like 9 o'clock. Okay, so you probably can't hear me at all because I had to turn that fan back on because it was getting kind of warm in here, so I apologize for that, but I got both of these spaces cleaned up. You can see it's a little wet over here because the water did seep in through that door because it poured the other day, but I cleaned that up and swept it off, so that's going to dry out today. And over here is really good. Over here is nice and dry, looks good, nice and clean, except for where he spills his water because he plays with it. That's a little wet, so that needs to dry out. We did bed the girls because they're just about done eating, so we didn't want them to lay down. So we did bed them. But yeah, Brenda's probably gonna push this out to the burn pile, just because we don't want to be caught in like a vicious cycle of putting this in the manure pit and then spreading it right back on the fields and then baling it up again and putting it in front of the cows, because that would be ridiculous. So we picked all the plastic out of it, so it's just wood. So now he's gonna probably put that in a burn pile and we'll burn it later on, sometime in the spring when it's raining. Now the only thing left to do is I'm gonna take this bag right here that has the plastic from that pile. I'm just gonna go around the windowsills and pick up some trash that just doesn't need to be there anymore. Who would leave food on the windowsill? Everything's pretty much done, so now we're gonna leave the girls and let them make milk. My battery is dying, so I gotta make this fast, but I'm really happy that I got those spots cleaned up. It looks great, and it makes me feel better that the cows don't have any of that crap in front of them that they could possibly eat. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below, and keep it real and keep farming, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Woo, I made it before it died. Bye guys.